So, hello everyone, and today, as they would normally, it's a Thursday, and this is this channel, obviously, I think you'd figure that out by now, it would normally be our opening cards video, but as it's get Easter-ish, I'm going to be doing instead a ranking of all, I'm going to show them backwards, so you don't see an order, because they are in order, of all the ADRENALYN XL card types. There are way too many, 3, 6, 7, 10, 12, 22 if I'm counting correctly, which is mental that they've got that many card types. But anyway, so yeah, I'll go from worst to best. We can't spend that long in each one because I can't spend 5 minutes discussing each one, or you'll be here until tomorrow, which I don't think any of you want to be listening to me for 24 hours straight. So yeah, key things off. Now I would say none of them particularly bad. It's not like any card designs I look at that and think yuck, but there's some that you prefer more than others. You might have obviously your preferences. That's fine. So we kick things off with, then again, I've just picked like a random player from that card design. And most often one of the first is, and these again for the ADRENALYN XL 2024 set, which I don't actually think I've really done anything about. So yeah, and that is the top keeper. Obviously, this version is currently the light. Stop shadows is Netto. But to me, the main thing is there's nothing here. The top keeper, obviously, quite a classic, been in pretty much all the ADRENALYN collections. There's nothing here nothing in this design that screams to me goalkeeper, like a net or anything like that, or saves. There's nothing here that screams goalkeeper. What we've got, to me, is a hole and what looks like some like Spider-Man webbing. So there's nothing here that screams, and those are cracking goalkeepers. So that's where I stand on that. And next, the next design, we have the Playmaker. Now, I like what they've gone for here. It looks quite like a sort of written on design. Obviously, got the sort of markings, but to me, it doesn't. Again, there's nothing here that screams as a Playmaker. It's just a load of. I mean, the Playmaker thing itself, it looks like the background. It's just been drawn on, coloured in by highlighter. There's just random bits everywhere. Nothing here that screams lots of passing, like assists, and playmaking. It just looks like a child's had been given some crayons and then asked to make a mess with it. It's what it looks like in reality. And so next we go on to, again, these are really hard to decide. There's not much between any of them really. Some of them could be higher than others actually. I think. Yeah, no, we've got this one. The next is going to be the powerhouse. We've got Diego Carlos here. Again, to me, the background, I like the idea. Obviously, it looks consistent. Unlike the other two, which is why it's better. It's a consistent pattern throughout the background. And purple, but it has a nice contrast with the white, the blue, sort of silvery, and colours. But to me, again, there's nothing particular like steel because like it doesn't look steel. It just looks like a silver colour. There's no like steel and strength, power. There's nothing that screams about that sort of player. So I want like maybe like rocks or something. That true solid defence and strength rather than whatever that is, losing some sort of prison bar. Next, we go on to the world class. Now, again, this is a pretty good design. I like the idea we've got the world, we've got multiple of them. But to me, it's too many orange. There's a hot shot, world class, and playmaker. None of them particularly good. In my eyes, I think. I could be wrong. It depends. It'd be awkward now if I put hot shot like third. How would I put that? Oh yeah. To me, there's too many orange. We've already got another orange card, and to me, there's also, if you look at it, it's mostly orange. There's no like contrasting colours, which there is with the powerhouse and the playmaker and the top keeper. That sort of mean you can look at distinguish bits. In reality, the whole thing kind of just blends into one with a few lines separating the worlds and the background. So next, we go on to what could be a controversial choice. The ADRENALYN Rush. Now, for me, they've overused this sort of crystally design because it's on the trophy, and it's on the Colossus. Well, sometimes it goes on these. Is it on any others? It's on trophy. It's not on any others, but it's still 3-card design. It's a good design, the idea of using it. They've used it on 3 different cards, and to me, the blue doesn't look quite right, especially when you've got a blue bottom here. It's light blue and dark blue. It's too, and the blue shading on here, it's too blue. And then we've got and yeah, the design itself, like the pattern and all the shining, looks really nice. It's just that the colour contrast and the overusage of that makes it feel a bit like, makes that design not feel as nice. So next we go on to the next level, which is which I've got a Martin Odegaard one here. And again, the pattern's got like boxes going. Let's see, we've got row here. It's got like boxes. What it looks like to me is like boxes, and again, there's no idea of like levels. I mean, obviously, it's hard to differentiate a next level, right? Unless you have the player with the top half of the card, which doesn't really work. But to me, I don't get an idea. And also, again, it seems like they've just got a weird pink shading, which I don't think there's no like reason as to why they've chosen to just give a random pink shading. And again, it just looks like a load of boxes, and the white sort of blurs in into one another. But yeah, I mean, overall the design looks good, and then obviously the pink sort of breaks it up, so you can see all the nice shadings. But it's not fantastic, I would say. Next, we go to another one of these designs. It is the Colossus. Which, okay, you could argue again that's harsh, but to me, well, first of all, it's very dark. There's even the Colossus logo, and I get the idea because Colossus is sort of dark, well, empowering, dominant player. So you want it to be more dark and what seems dominant, and those sort of connotations. But I don't think they've overused the idea of the dark. What I have just noticed, I do like, is they've actually got this crystal design repeated underneath. I don't know on the aggregate, do they? Oh, they do actually. Didn't notice that. They've got that crystal repeated. That I do like, but I don't think they've used enough of it. I do like the idea, obviously, of these sort of the jagged edges. Look cool, and I like the colours make sense. It's also this Colossus. It's quite hard to see. Like it doesn't go. There's nothing that stands and makes it stand out. You can see the stats, the logo, name, and stuff, but you can't see the card. The actual card names that well. Now, we're getting to quite good ones now. Next, we get to the Aerial Ace. Now, I do like the idea because it looks as if you've got some sort of like ocean here and then like the air, so it looks like they're sort of in the air. The main critique I've got with this is it's too plain because you've got obviously the all white background, and then it's not like you've to differentiate the colour a bit. What I have noticed again is they've got, see on here, they've got this lined pattern. You can see, got a similar lined pattern underneath. Everything's a bit too white. I do like the idea of the pink on the aerial, on the ace, and not the aerial. I think that looks cool. But to me, it looks like a good design. You've got that sort of the idea of actually getting the category of what you're trying to get, with just someone being a dominant presence in the air. You've got that nailed. It's just you need to get more of a colourful card, rather than just being all the same colour. Now, next we have the Legend limited editions. And the main thing I've got this is the player. Well, it feels too small because they're similar size-wise players to the other ones, but when you've got no stats on these cards, you can feel the card a bit more with the player. This white bit down here especially feels quite plain. The back, and because at least back here you can see. There you go. Yeah, there's this crystal design in the back. There's no design in this bottom bit. I mean, I've noticed there's this Legend written is textured, which is nice, and so is the United logo. So is the United logo, and so are all these crystals. But and also it's nice. The back looks nice because you've got the 3 different pieces. But overall, I would just say you need to make the player a bit bigger, make them stand out more, because you've just got quite a small head, and then you've got a big head, but we want to see their whole body. And so, but overall, the colours, especially with the golds on the background and the Legend, looks cool. Now getting to quite a good, I think this is sort of the top half of them all now. I don't actually know what number I can't see. We have the Dynamo. Now this one's tricky because for me, we don't. What is a Dynamo? Like it doesn't. There's not much to go off because there's a lot of these midfielders like Colossus, playmaker. Like they're all fairly similar. So what is a dynamo? Like attacking midfielder, but again, sort of a playmaker. It's hard to judge. I do like the idea because they've got this swirling. It's like quite yellowy and then green, which are nice contrasting sort of fading colours into one another. And then this is a different colour. It's still white at the bottom, which I think looks good because it provides a brightness above the rest of that. I just think, well, the Dynamo logo, I don't like how the Dynamo logo, it's a completely square, well, not a square border, but it's really tight. There's no like curves, it's quite sharp, and it's very tight to the letter. And also how this got the background goes over it. I'd rather see the logo of the Dynamo in front. You can see the lines in front there. But overall, it is a good design, and the colours look nice. Next, we go on to, now it's more just which ones do I like the least, rather than which ones do I have the most dislike for. That's the correct way to say it. Is that the lineup, technically it's just a base card, but obviously it looks very different. I do like it. I mean, obviously it's a base card, so it's not the most to get too excited with. And like obviously we've got all these sort of shields, the players, which I do think looks cool. Formation. I think the Premier League logo, it looks okay in the corner, obviously with all of them sticking out in the front. And I like the way they've transitioned the colours. It just does feel a bit like this side feels white, this side feels all red. So it is quite. I'd rather see more of like a stripy pattern down the side. But overall, looks good. And now we get to the best of the orange card designs, in my opinion, which is the Hot Shot. You might think it looks a bit random. Well, I do like the idea. Obviously, we've got actually the words, which is, I don't think there's something that's in any of the other card designs. The words Hot Shot in the background, and the word Hot Shot itself is in, what do I really describe? It looks a bit like a goldy rainbowy colour over here, and they've got the words Hot Shot all written down the side. And then the only thing is, I would say I'm not exactly sure what this line is here because it looks a bit bizarre. I do like the idea because again, it's got a nice contrast between the orange and then the background blue, which is here and on here. It looks good. And then we go on to again, these all getting to the good stage now. We're over the halfway. The limited edition. 12 minutes in already. And again, it looks good. Obviously, you've got the nice bright silver, which is limited, exclusive. It makes it feel shiny, and then they've got the touches of gold, makes it really more of an exclusive card with the contrasted to the black. The main issue I've got is that even though there is the gold on there, there's not much of it. Like, it doesn't look that, if you want to say, bright. There's not much, it just doesn't really stand out. It makes the background look too plain. It's the only thing I would say. You want to see like stars and lots of different designs. Next, we're going to go to the precisions cards, and I do like the idea of precision. It's like being accurate. So then they've got these all things like all being accurate going into this one, into the center of the player from pretty much all angles, and it's got details of, you can see lines here on the card. So I do think it looks good. A main concern, again, with the logo, the name of the subset looks a bit plain over on that side, and obviously all these bits on the edge, they blend in too much. But overall, the colours and everything, it looks really good. And next, we go to the Game Changer. Now again, these cards look great. They've got this sort of shiny holography on the back, with bits sort of sticking out, so it's not exactly sharp. And the way they've made the words Game Changer actually look quite, but they actually are in different colours and in the different boxes. You've got the player, and you've got this bit in the middle here, which again breaks up the sides. You've got lots of different textures, and I think the contrast as well between the football pitch background and this is quite strong. Next, we go to the fire cards. Now, a lot of people would argue this should be higher up, and I do think it looks good. Obviously, you've got sort of the flame cracks down the side. The logo, the fire logo itself looks good. It looks almost 3D in a bright sort of orange colour, and we've got the same actually coming. Notice that coming down the sides on the edges of everything. The main thing is I'm not sure what this silver stream is. I think it breaks up the card too much. Because in reality that makes you think more like, looks a bit like water in contrast to the fire, which doesn't make sense But overall, I think it looks the colour scheme and the design looks good. And next we go to the badge cards, which again are in the base set. They are shinies, so we're going to put them in. I like what I really like that they're simple, of course, and they're still actually in the bits that aren't the badge. They've included the club colour at the bottom, and then each badge has got the white lining, and also the stuff they've put in is sort of symmetrical. So Panini logo up there, the Prem logo up here, it's sort of all in the middle. And I like this star pattern across the edges. So overall, the badge is quite nice. What have we got there? Two. Oh, into the top 5. So you might be able to figure out which sort of cards we haven't covered yet. And so first, we go to the bonus trophy card, which again, obviously, is only one of them in the collection. They're quite rare, and it looks good because obviously it's the Premier League trophy. They've got is it a different colour. Oh, it is that good as well. They've got the sort of blue over here and a green over here, a nice fading colour. So overall, the trophy it looks good, and as I said before, that crystal design I think that's the best use of it, fading in the colour, which still contrasts with the colours that are still there. So and then so in fourth place we have the Future Star, and I love the name itself because they've not immediately gone with the classic Rising Star. They've changed it to Future Star, and then obviously we've got a nice colour contrast between we've got the white at the bottom, we've got a blue, and we've got an orange, and obviously the orange is very bright, like sort of like the sun, very bright, exuberant colours, if they're going to have very bright and good futures in their careers. Obviously, this one is Rico Lewis. So you've got the idea of the stars, and we not just have one big star. They've got stars, and none of them are full. Well, which looks good. They've got sharp sort of edges coming through, and overall, the card design looks vibrant, different. Looks like they've put effort into it. It looks good. Now, third, right to Pro View, we have the base card. But I think there's not much more you can prove to it because in reality, we've got the club colours on the sides, and then I don't know what I think the middle is always white, which provides good because every player's wearing a kit, so it provides a nice sort of make sure you can see the kit, seeing as their kit's going to be similar to the background unless they're a keeper. So you see a nice contrast between that to stand it out, and then also we've got a bit like a stadium thing at the bottom. Is it? Can you tell it's bottom? I think you can tell what club it is, but yeah, a sort of like in stadium thing at the bottom, which breaks it up and makes something far more live and a nice detail as well. We've got obviously we've got all the other details there, but I like the sort of fade at the top as well between the sort of 3 pillars. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a very good card design. Obviously, I'll put it third. So now we're into our top. That's 3. Into our top 2. I mean, you can probably guess. Well, there's definitely one that you would think you should remember. Obviously, there's a lot of card designs in the inserts. So the next one, the second place is for the ice card. And now again, looks fantastic. They've got white, and actually, what they managed to do here is break up the sections here with this like nice piece of blue, which is consistent because they've got blue here, and at the start at the top it's blue like a blue sky. It looks like a sort of cartoony sort of version in the background of like Ice Age, of an icy place. It looks like that. So yeah, overall I think it looks pretty good. I mean, there's not much to improve to it. I think the ice name could be made a bit bigger, but again, there's only 3 letters. It is hard. But overall, it looks like they put effort into it, and it looks vibrant, and it looks very nice. Now, the next one, I think you can probably figure out, is the Golden Baller. And you knew it was coming, and I liked what they've done this year. Cause rather than you could see a Golden Baller pattern through the card, and then based on its position and team which Golden Baller it is, because they've done this on the background, which also you might be able to tell has a texture to it. If you could see, let's try and get it. You see there, it's got a bit of a texture to it, and so it's the same on the front of the one. Obviously, I've got the Eze one here. And it's these all bright gold, but this one's kind of the idea of them being like amazing, all bright gold. The swivels, everything here is gold. And that is it. So thank you for watching. That run down our top 3 were the Golden Baller, second was the Ice, and third was the base card. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video, which this one next week will also be a creative type of video. So yeah, goodbye.